I know I talk a lot about just, chest up, be bold, drive through. And I talk a lot with skin flushing. I talk a lot about our nervous systems, the sympathetic nervous system, things that happen in our bodies that we have no control over, and things that we do have control over. I talk about cognitive behavioral therapy. But today I want to talk a little bit about grief and when you're not just going to trudge through. Stay tuned. Guys, welcome back to my channel. I decided to just throw my camera on really quick and just see what happens because I had something else mapped out for today to talk about. I'll talk about that tomorrow. But some of you may know that my dad was diagnosed with stage 4 colon cancer last year in 2019. August, around the beginning of August is when we found out. And he has just been a trooper, just fighting through this new journey. And he did about 10 sessions of a chemo that was working really well. He was back to a quality of life. I say quality of life because with his cancer, he gets a cough, which is a fluid buildup that I believe like a pleural effusion. It means it happens like a fluid sac that builds up under the lungs and the lining under the lungs. So it's not necessarily in the lungs, but it restricts it, making it hard to breathe. So he was having these bronchial spasms. It's hard for him to catch a breath. But when he started going through chemo, it kind of scaled back the cough and he was able to get back to a good quality of life and go to work. So at around number 8 of that chemo, he had an allergic reaction. So they had to scale back or get rid of a piece of that, whatever the medication was, and continue on with the rest of the chemo. But by around like number 10, they realized this isn't really working anymore and they had to change up his medication. So it took a while. The medicine got held up and this cough came back full force. So it's been about 8 weeks now. He started his first chemo on the new regimen about 3 weeks ago. And he's at his second one today, and we just got a call. Well, I got a message from my mom as they're sitting in the doctor's office to confirm that the cancer has spread to his lungs. And she'll call me later with more details. So I read the message, and I have to jump on an executive call with my team and do my normal Monday morning stuff. So we get on the call, we're doing our thing. I've got my list, knocking through my to-dos and my updates. And then at the end, I just said, hey guys, here's what's going on with my dad, blah, blah, blah. And then when we all hung up, I just sat here. You know how you just sit in the silence and you just feel. And I thought about that feeling, that grief, those tears that come up in that moment. And there was a time when I would run from that. Don't want to feel that. I don't want to feel any of that. Let's change the subject. Let's be busy. Let's do something else so that I don't have to sit and feel this. But before I turned the camera on, I just sat here with it. And just let it happen. Just let myself feel it. When I talk about light and dark contrasting, you'll hear me say this a lot. We want the light, but we don't want the dark. And yet we love the sun, the beauty of a sunset. And we love the beauty of a sunrise, and we love paintings that have light and dark contrasting and depth and shadows, and that's what makes things beautiful. If you look at any theatrical piece, you usually have this bright piece of the theatrical thing, whether that's a movie or a play, and some sort of dark thing that's happening. But it's them together that make things so beautiful. And so when I sat here with that feeling, just let it rise. Just let it come up. My dad has stage 4 cancer. It's not curable. And I'm all about some positive thinking. And I mean, I've got a vision board. I'm pointing like you can see me, but I've got like, hold please. I got vision boards for days. This is from 1 year. You might see half naked people. That's for their muscles, not because they're naked. This was from another year. I've got visuals here. This is what I want to speak into existence here. I don't know if you can see it, but basically this is the 1 million subscribers for YouTube. So I'm all about speaking it into existence. And what do you want? What is it? Name it, name it, claim it. Is that what they say? I'm all about that. But I'm also very honest that my dad is most likely high probability he's going to pass away with stage 4 colon cancer. And now that it's spread to the lungs, I'm pretty confident that that is what's going to happen. And I'm not telling you that. I know this is different than my other videos. I'm not telling you that to be negative. I'm not telling you that because I'm feeling sorry for myself. I'm telling you it just is what it is. It is what it is. Cancer is doing what cancer does. It's wreaking havoc. It's not personal. It's just doing what it does. And I don't know about you. I haven't experienced anything like this ever before in my life. I haven't even had anybody really close to me die, which I've always been like grateful for, but then scared of at the same time because that's not realistic. That's not real. People live and people die. People are born and people die. It's just part of it. And I remember that used to be one of my biggest fears was me getting sick or somebody around me dying. And I think because my dad has been diagnosed and he's slowly walking the path of his mortality, instead of him just like dying in his sleep and I got a phone call that my dad died, I didn't have to experience the abrupt, jerked out of your life. And I know a lot of people have. And I don't even know what feelings come with that because I've not experienced that to that degree. There's certain experiences that I've had, but it was like when I was a kid and it was grandma and she was old and that's what grandmas do. They die until I got older and realized like that she wasn't really old. And anyway, but the way my brain processed it back when I was younger, that was kind of normal. But so for my dad to be diagnosed and walk through this journey now, I've been able to walk it out with him and get to know him so much better in the past 9 months. And because we weren't super duper close, but we've always had a bond. And the past 9 months have brought us really close. And the past 9 months, I say this a lot to my friends, is that people are so mad at this disease of cancer. And I'm like, it's not really, cancer is not the disease that was killing him. It's the apathy of life. The apathy was the disease that he had prior to cancer. Cancer kind of woke him up and got him into his life for the past 9 months. And I feel like he was thriving more in these past 9 months than he was in like the past 20 years. So we've talked about that, he and I. So anyway, I guess I'm using you a little bit as my sounding board because this has become my community and my people, but also just to let you know when it comes to your mental health and it comes to feeling things that don't feel good. We want to run from our feelings that don't feel good. We're not usually upset about people and the things around us. We're upset about how we felt. There's a feeling that comes that's tied to situations and people and the way people said something or a facial expression. We tie an emotion or a feeling to that, and that's what makes us feel bad. So when I get this message from my mom that it's moved to his lungs, I hung up on the executive call and I just sat here and just let it rise. There's just this sadness and this grief and this acceptance that rises up. And I give myself space to feel that. So when I talk about skin flushing and I talk about the resistance that we have to the skin flushing, when I talk about we lock up with fear, we do that with panic attacks. Also, people a lot of times with a panic attack, they lock up to resist the panic attack, which makes it worse, is if you would just lean in. So why I call this lean in warrior. Lean into that discomfort. Let those waves of grief hit you. Let those feelings and those emotions just move through. They don't have to be good or bad, or you've got to know this or do that or overcome it with this. You just let it be. Let the contrast move and create the beauty. And if you're angry, you're angry. I mean, I've had moments where I'm fucking pissed. And I feel that too. Let yourself feel that. Let those feelings of your humanity come through. Don't resist them. Don't push them down. Don't cry and tell somebody you're sorry or tell yourself to snap out of it. Let it happen. Just let it happen. So thank you guys for being here for me. I know everybody's walking through their own stuff that they've got going on, but I appreciate the support that you all have given me here on this channel. And if you're walking through something difficult right now, whether that be a loved one that's diagnosed with a terminal illness or just any other hardship that you have going on, just know that let yourself feel it. And it's okay to feel whatever you're feeling. Grief is multidimensional and complex, but I also think that there's some beauty in it. if we can navigate it. I don't want to say properly. I don't know how you properly navigate grief, but just, though, like, how to properly navigate regardless of what the outside world has told you. So just let yourself navigate it and move through it. And any emotion, any hardship that you've got going on in your life. You guys, thank you again for letting me just here and put a spin on real life things that are happening. This is real life. This is not a planned out bullet point 5 easy tips to overcoming grief. It's personal. It's personal for you, how you walk that journey. So thank you guys again for, I'm trying to be serious here, and I got hair that keeps going in my mouth and my nose is running. So, hey, I'm just here. It's a messy mess, and I'm here with you, and I'm not going to edit that stuff out because it just is what it is. But thank you guys so much for your support. Thank you for being here. Thank you for coming along on the journey. Thank you for letting me know I'm not alone, and I want you to know in return you're not alone either. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe. If you're following along and not getting involved in the conversation, then you're kind of taken away from other people who want to jump into conversation that are on the sidelines as well. Like, I don't want to say anything. I'll let somebody else say it. If you feel that impressed upon your heart, so jump into the comments, leave a comment, and talk about the skin flushing or grief or whatever it is you want to talk about, please do so, because we'd love to engage with you. And until tomorrow, I'll see you tomorrow. Bye, my friends.